Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Hunkydory Crafts we have this fantastic collection. So we have these for the love of masks stencils. We've got the winter foliage, these are all 6x6, deck the halls, and this is falling snowflakes. We've also got beautiful foiled insert pads. They're great to put on the outside of your cards and also the inside. And we have them in gold and silver embossed, and then of course the beautiful background papers from Poinsettia Sparkle 8x8 paper pad. Together, you guys, they make gorgeous cards. This is one that my friend Debbie made with this one of the stencils and glitter paste. I'm going to show you how to do it, and this is our giveaway. So watch to the end of the video and you can learn how one lucky viewer will win this one to keep or to share with a friend. So come play with us. So let's take a flip through. This one is Poinsettia Sparkle. And it's got all of these beautiful, beautiful papers. As I said, 8x8, so you get multiples of each. Do a quick flip through here. And Debbie used a couple of these. Let me show you which one she used for a slimline card. Okay, we're going to add a little bit to this, but for her slimline card, she used this one right here and used one of the borders, okay, and then on the ends of it she used a little scrap of this kind of gold background paper just at the top and the bottom, and then she cut out some of the poinsettias and the pine boughs from this border right here. She did two of those down here. This one's glued, this one is got foam tape on it, and then she used this one right here from the gold embossed. Now these are meant, she die cut hers, so it's sparkle and shine. Let me find it in here. Oh, I should just let you see all of them actually. You get multiples of these. May the spirit of Christmas bring you peace and joy. Warm winter wishes. Now you can use these as a whole, or you can kind of, there's spaces where you can kind of cut them down if you want to use them on the card front. Really, really cool. And they have, there's a sparkle and shine. So Debbie used one of our cutting dies. This is the 8 labels for your greetings cutting dies to cut hers down, and she used this label right here. But you can take these, and they have these grids on the back. So you can take a card and then you can place it right here, and you can say, oh, this is how wide my card is, and you can cut out the greeting according to the grid so that the greeting on the other side is centered. You ever wondered, like, when they're this big, how are you going to keep cutting it down to do the math to get it centered for the inside of your card? Well, this is done for you on the back, so it's really handy for covering the inside of your card. But in this case, Debbie used the cutting die so we could show you how to use this on the outside, and we're going to show you examples for the inside in a little bit. And then took this one right here and cut this one out, and we're going to take that and just foam tape it and put it right there. I'll turn it this way actually, turn it right here, put that down. And then we used our red ribbon collection to make that little bow. And then we've got the little rainbow flat back pearls in all these great colors. And I chose to use some gold ones right here. And we're just going to put a little dot of glue in the center of these poinsettias. Give these a little sparkle to match the little sentiment here. And we're going to put one of those right there. And these won't take long to dry. Go, and the last one. Oops. There. Now we have a little bit dimension on there with the bow and the foam tape and the little flat back pearls. Great job, Debbie. I love that. All right. Next, you guys, I wanted to show you, come on, the 6x6 card that my friend Debbie made. And this one is using the winter foliage mask or stencil. And so what she did with this one is she used some of the solid green right here for the background and covered the card. She also used some silver Miri cardstock that I'll list down below the video. If you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page, it's listed below the video, all the supplies. And if you're watching us on YouTube, just look in the description box below the video and there's a link that'll take you there. And so anyway, then on some white cardstock, she actually did her stenciling with the following ink pads. We have got, also from Hunkydory, khaki green and then holly green. So there's the difference between the holly, it's got the little khaki, and then she used the holly green on the pine boughs. And then she used cocoa brown on the little pine cones. And then she used 2 shades of red on the poinsettia, letterbox and red pastel. And then using these little daubers is just really nice to be able to get to all those little areas because those spaces are rather tight. But you'll notice there's no stenciling on the greeting, which comes from the silver version of the insert pad. And then what she did was you can just take a little scrap of paper, or this is just a post-it note that is cut down, and she cut it and then just attached it and put her stencil over that white cardstock, stenciled all around it, and then when she removed the mask, that's all free of the stencil. Then added some gold Jewel Dazzle stickers right there to the centers of the poinsettias, and then some more of that red ribbon. So beautiful job. Love that. Okay, so much to show you, you guys. Now, I should show you the silver version of this one. Happy New Year. Sparkle and shine. Very cool. It's the most wonderful time of the year. All I want for Christmas is you. Warm winter wishes from our home to yours. Greetings of the season. All right, so let's try this one. There we go. So on this one, it is the snowflake, falling snowflake 6x6 mask stencil. And on the background of her 6.5 by 5 inch card, Debbie covered that with, this is like, what color is this? Pistachio green glitter cardstock. That's beautiful. And she covered the card with that, and then just some white cardstock here that she then covered with some vellum. Okay, so put white vellum over the cardstock. It gives it this really beautiful pearly look. So that's the best way I can describe it. And she used that stencil just like this and used, gosh, I forgot to grab it, which color ink she used. That's listed down below with this card as well. I was primarily focusing on these beautiful snowflakes. I'm going to show you how she did that. She took some double-sided adhesive, okay? And she told me that she cut this, it has a nice grid on the back. She cut this into a square about the size of each one of these snowflakes. And then she attached this to the vellum, a separate sheet of vellum from the vellum that you use to cover the card. So this is just other vellum, like the scrap vellum that you have. All right, and then you're going to take off the other side, take off the other side of this adhesive. There we go. Now we got to take this out of here. All right, and you're going to place the stencil right on top. I'm going to use this smaller one. And you don't have to worry about it getting centered because she actually cut these out. But we're just going to place that right there. And then we've got all of these micro glitters. Okay, I found them. So the colors that she used to create this card, she used the finest lime green glitter, which is this one, then green, white, and teal. Okay, so I think we're going to do the dark green one. And we're just going to, I'm going to put down my craft mat because I just know this is extra fine glitter. It's going to go all over the place. All right. Now we're just going to place some right on here. You do not need a lot of this. Just a little bit like that. You're just going to take your finger and you're just burnishing it into that double-sided adhesive. Like that. And we're going to go a little bit more I kind of find it's best to start off with a tiny little bit, and then if you need more, add more, because trying to get this stuff back in the jar is just impossible. It's so fine, it wants to cling to everything. So just do a little bit at a time, and then you won't have to worry about wasting any or getting it back into the jar. I'm just going to move it down where I want it. Okay, I think I got all this piece, got all those little areas. Okay, now I'm just going to scrape off the excess there. Put my lid back on so I don't have a catastrophe. And then we're going to go to the white. But first, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this mask. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to sprinkle the white on here, right over the top of the green. We're just covering that double-sided adhesive. And when you put this on here, it's going to create a really pretty background, and it takes away the stickiness. And don't worry about the little dots and snowflake lines and things that are around it, because you can either use this square, or you could even, when we're done, you could even die cut it into a circle. But Debbie, she just decided to be super extra about it, and she cut these out. And you're tap, tap, tapping the rest of that off. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so we're going to deal with this glitter so it doesn't fly everywhere. You guys know what I mean. Just going to take this off. I have another glitter project to show you after this. All right, wasn't too bad. All right, so then we're just going to take our tiny scissors, which are somewhere on my table here. Here they are. Okay, so I prefer to just sort of cut this down first. Okay, and then this is how we're just going to cut this out. You just kind of go like this, and I prefer to move the vellum and keep the scissors straight. It goes a lot faster, and we're not trying to get every tiny little thing perfectly. We're just cutting out around the edges. Move up there a little bit. Cut that off so it's out of the way. Okay, so you get the idea how we're cutting that out. And then Debbie foam taped those to the card, and then she took these lime crystals and put one here and then added them to the card. Then here is one of those greetings in gold, and see, she cut this way down. You can cut them and remove the part that you don't want. Sometimes you can cut them in half and get twice, like out of every single one, you could sometimes get two of them. Two greetings is what I mean. All right, last one. We're going to get back our craft mat. This card that I showed you in the opening, which is our giveaway, and I'm going to tell you about that as we make this. But Debbie took this 5 by 6.5 inch card, and we've got this beautiful stencil mask. This one is Deck the Halls, and she actually stenciled it onto some black suede paper. So this card has such amazing texture. It's got the suede fabric paper and then the glitter paste, which is dry and very glittery. There's a lot of texture. It's great. So for this one, we're going to take, this is the black suede, and if you're not familiar with it, fabric-y suede on one side and then paper on the other side. So it's great for die cutting, paper crafting. We're going to take this and we're going to just tape it down with some extra sticky tape. No, this is not extra sticky tape. This is low-tack tape. And you could also use washi tape, painter's tape. We just don't want this moving around because The suede is kind of slick. All right. And then you could also just take some scrap paper and put it around the edges to protect that. But then we're going to be using glitter paste in Poinsettia, Fairy Lights, which is gold, and then the Holly and Ivy green. Those three colors. And we really like using a palette knife for this. So we're going to start off with, I think we're going to do the top edge here using the green. And I was going to tell you how you can win this card. So we're trying to promote our YouTube page. So if you would like to participate in this contest, you need to go to our YouTube, Paper Wishes YouTube page, and you can just click on the little YouTube icon, which is right under this Paper Wishes webisode video if you're watching us on Paper Wishes. And you can click on that and it'll take you right over to YouTube. You need to like, comment, and subscribe, all three. And then we're going to pick one of those comments and answer it. We'll reply to it and we'll say, hey, you're the winner. And we'll give you instructions on how to claim your card. So please check back so that you know if you're a winner or not, because we haven't had people claim their cards all week. It's kind of disheartening. So definitely check back if you are a winner. You just need to check that little notification bell on YouTube. If you're truly a subscriber, you will get notified that there is a message for you. So definitely check that out. All right, so we've got that one done. Taking off that excess right there. And now we're going to do the same with the gold and the red. And what's great about this is you just start off with the dominant color that you want to do, which she did the red. And you just kind of go over the ornament. And then she went over this with gold and kind of hit all of the little strings and stuff that are on the left-hand side. But you can also do all those little stars and those little dots and things like that. Oops, kind of went under the stencil there. Hope that's going to be okay. All right. I think we've got enough there. And then on the other side, you just do all of this. Kind of like buttering toast. Kind of even sounds like toast. Maybe I'm hungry. There we go. All right, I'm not going to worry about the other dots. I'm just going to move on to the gold. All right. And then we're just going to put this gold right over here and just kind of make sure we get some gold on the ornaments up here, and then she got some down here. That. And we'll get some of these little dots and things. All right, we got that. And then we're just going to lift this up. It's important to lift it up while it's still wet, and then you want to toss this into water immediately, the stencil, because this paste dries really quickly and it dries pretty hard. So what I like to do is keep just a pan of water like this right next to where I'm working, and I just lift this off and I toss it in there, and then I figure out what else I'm going to do before I go wash it. So I'm just going to put that right in there, let it soak, and then I can deal with it in a little while when I have time to wash it thoroughly. All right, so that's that stenciling process. You're going to let this dry for about an hour or two, depending on how thick it is, and then you're good to go at this point. Now I wanted to show you one other thing before we finish And that's how Debbie used, this is from the silver collection of the insert pad. She did "May the Spirit of Christmas bring you," and then "Peace and Joy." And so she cut off the "Peace and Joy" part to make it small enough to fit on this card. But you could also do "May the Spirit of Christmas bring you," and then you could cut this and then put the other part of it on the inside. It gives you a lot of options. But then here, I wanted to show you how we're going to use this to glue to the inside of the card. So I'm going to use the 5x7. We're just going to cut this down like this. And that way, I lost it. Where's the 5x7? Here it is. We're going to glue that. I like to leave it long, and then I can glue it right there. See how that's centered so nicely? And then I can glue it into my card back, inside back, and then I can go ahead and trim it even with the top and the bottom if I want to do it that way. I'm going to kind of tack this down like this. And you could ink the edges of this if you'd like. And that's how you work the inserts, just like this. So you guys, we have a fantastic collection. I don't think I showed you the inside of this card. Isn't that beautiful? I would really encourage you to take advantage of the money saver that we have, which is on the right-hand side of the screen. It's an amazing deal. Don't forget to participate in our contest on YouTube by commenting, and subscribing. And we will pick a winner in about a week and send you this card. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. Lots of techniques to show you. We kind of rushed. I hope you enjoyed it. We see you in the next one.